Now our topic is true thickness and apparent thickness. Suppose this is the section line. Along the section line I have plotted that landform and those are the beds. Suppose those are the beds. Okay. Now we have to identify the thickness of the bed. First come to the point of true thickness. That is the actual thickness. What is the basic principle of thickness? Suppose these are the beds. These are the beds. Suppose these are the beds. Okay. This linear distance. This linear distance is known as thickness. This linear distance is known as thickness. What is thickness? Thickness is the width between the lower boundary of the bedding plan and the upper boundary of the bedding plan. This is lower boundary and this one is the upper boundary. The linear distance in between the lower boundary and the upper boundary of the bedding plan is known as thickness. Okay, what is true thickness and how we will measure the true thickness? Suppose this is a geological map. So suppose this is a bedding plan, this one is a bedding plan, this one is another bedding plan, and this is the another bedding plan. So first I have to identify any one of the bedding plan. Suppose I have identified this bedding plan and I have selected this bedding plan for the measure the true thickness. True thickness, this is the upper boundary of the bedding plan. Okay, this is the lower boundary of the bedding plan. This is the upper boundary of the bedding plan. This one is the lower boundary of bedding plan. So identify the minimum distance. Draw a perpendicular line. Join those lines within the straight line. This is the minimum distance because there it's a 90-degree angle, it's a 90-degree angle, it's a 90-degree angle, it's a 90-degree angle. This linear distance is the true thickness. Okay. In each and every geological map, there is a scale. Here the scale is 1000 feet is equal to 1 inch. Rather 1 inch is equal to represent the 1000 feet. So measure this linear distance with the help of scale. Measure this linear distance with the help of scale and convert it into the map scale. Suppose this linear distance is 0.6 inch. So according to the map scale, it will be 600 feet. Okay, this is the true thickness. Okay, true thickness is the minimum distance or the perpendicular distance in between the upper boundary of a bedding plan and the lower boundary of a bedding plan. Okay, then second one is the apparent thickness. What is apparent thickness? So draw a vertical line from any point. You can draw it from that point also. You can draw a vertical line from that point also. Suppose I am drawing a vertical line. Sorry, I am drawing a vertical line. So suppose this is the vertical line. Okay, this linear distance, it's also this is the lower boundary of a bedding plan. This is the upper boundary of a bedding plan, but not the minimum distance. Okay, this distance is known as apparent thickness. Measure this distance with the help of the scale and convert it to the map scale and you can easily get the apparent thickness. So be clear, true thickness is the minimum distance between the upper boundary and lower boundary of a particular bedding plan. The angle here, the angle is 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree and 90 degree, and apparent is from that point you draw a vertical line and vertical line touch the upper boundary of a bedding plan and lower boundary of the bedding plan and take this linear distance and convert into the map scale and you can get the true thickness. This is the easiest way to measure the apparent thickness and true thickness. Okay, apparent thickness or true thickness. This is apparent thickness and T for true thickness. Here I would like to mention one thing. Suppose this is the section line, okay, and you have to plot all the cross section and beds through this vertical scale. Actually, this vertical is very important. To put a set square and moves right hand side and go up to the apparent thickness. Just observe. the apparent thickness line is exactly parallel to the line of the vertical scale. So easiest way to measure the vertical scale to the apparent thickness is that just take a scale and you start from your vertical scale line, move to the bedding plan and draw a line. Okay, take this linear distance and convert into the scale. That is the apparent thickness. Move to that bed and take this linear distance and convert into the map scale. Draw the apparent thickness. Okay, what is the true thickness? Take the minimum distance. This is the minimum distance. It's a connecting point between the upper boundary of a bedding plan and lower boundary of a bedding plan, and convert into the map scale and get true thickness. I think you are clear enough about the concept of true thickness and apparent thickness. Okay, here I would like to mention one thing, that from the geological map you can get also the thickness. Suppose this is the topmost layer. How we will calculate the width or the thickness of the apparent or true thickness of that plane? It's very difficult to calculate the topmost for the thickness for the topmost layer of the geological map and the bottom layer of the geological map. You can see only one thing. Suppose you start from here and move vertically and identify this vertical distance, and you can convert this linear distance to this map scale, and you can say that this map is approximately 6,000 feet with the true thickness is 3,000 feet or 4,000 feet, so on. You can just calculate approximately, and for the lowermost layer you can just draw a line and take this linear distance and convert to the scale, and you can just say approximately lower bed is from the geological cross section. This map just thick, apparently we can observe the thickness up to 2 feet, up to 6,000 feet or 4,000 feet, so on. Okay, in the cases of topmost layer and bottom layer, we cannot find the exact thickness from this section, from this geological map. But remain the bottom layer and topmost layer, we can get the apparent thickness and true thickness for the all layers. Okay, now come to a part of small calculation. So it's clear to all of you that this is the apparent thickness. This line is the line for the apparent thickness. This is the true thickness. Suppose you can think all this incident in the light of Pythagorean formula. Suppose it's A, it's B, and it's C. It's an angle of 90 degrees. Suppose for the calculation or for the true thickness is given. The value of AB, that is the true thickness, is given. Suppose this is 600 feet and this angle is theta. The value of theta is given to you, that is 45 degrees. So you have to identify without map, without geological plotting of geological map, through the calculation you can also identify the true thickness and apparent thickness. Suppose you have to identify the BC. What is BC? BC is the hypotenuse. BC is the apparent thickness. Apparent thickness also known as vertical thickness. Vertical thickness. How we will calculate the apparent thickness? Suppose I am using the Pythagorean formula. Suppose this is A. I am taking this. This is AB. I am taking this. This is T. T is 600 feet. Suppose this is 90 degree. We are all familiar with that. And this is C. C is hypotenuse. Rather C is apparent thickness. Rather T is vertical thickness. Okay. And so with the help and the theta angle is 45 degree. So we have to calculate. Suppose this information is given to you, With the help of this information, you have to identify the apparent thickness. So go for the Pythagorean formula. Go for the cos theta. Cos theta means base or adjacent divided by hypotenuse. Here cos 45 degree, theta is given, theta is 45 degree, theta is given, is equal to, base is given, base is 600 feet. The value of AB, rather true thickness, is 600 feet. So apparent thickness, so with the help of calculator, with the help of apparent thickness, rather hypotenuse is 600 cos 45 degree into 600 feet. So with the help of value of cos 45 degree into 600, suppose it is hypotenuse value, rather the BC value is 424.26 feet. So with the help of whole system, with the help of Pythagorean formula, you can go through all these things, and with the help of Pythagorean formula, you can calculate the value of hypotenuse, rather the value of apparent thickness. So for the mathematical calculation from the drawing, after plotting the geological map, you can easily identify the apparent thickness and true thickness. Suppose this is the geological map. And this is the true thickness, and that value is apparent thickness. Okay, and take this triangle. Okay, this angle is given to you, that is 45 degree or 60 degree, so on, and the true thickness value is given to you. So what is the apparent thickness? So for that calculation, you can go for the calculation of cos 45 degree is equal to cos mean hypotenuse divided by base. Hypotenuse divided by base. The hypotenuse divided by adjacent, 600 divided by hypotenuse. Okay, for you do a calculation with the help of calculator. 45 degree cos value, you with the help of calculator, cos 45 degree into 600, then what will be the answer? Then with the help of calculator, cos 45 degree into 600, it will be 42426 feet. With the help of this formula, cos 45 degree, you can identify the true thickness and also the apparent thickness. Suppose the value of apparent thickness is there, given to you, and theta angle is given to you. With the help of cos theta, that is the base divided by hypotenuse, you can calculate the value. With the help of few small sum, we can calculate the true thickness and apparent thickness. Okay, so true thickness, I think the idea about the apparent thickness and true thickness is clear to you. For the drawing, after the plotting of the geological map from your cross section, you can easily identify the true thickness and apparent thickness. Otherwise, with the help of Pythagorean formula, AB square is equal to plus BC square is equal to AC square, and with the help of cos theta, you can identify the true thickness and apparent thickness. Now come to the point of deep direction. Okay, we are talking about, last day we have discussed a lot about the amount of deep, but now we are talking about the direction of deep. From the geological map, you can easily identify the direction. Okay, suppose this is the geological map, so we have to identify the direction. Just draw a cross Okay, this is conventionally north, this is conventionally south, this is conventionally east, and this is conventionally west. For that, to identify the direction of the dip, amount of dip, we have already discussed a lot about it, and you can measure the amount of dip. Now we are talking about the direction of the dip. So with the help of this diagram, for that bed you have draw a cross here. For that bed you have draw a cross here. So first come to that point. What is the direction? What is the direction for this particular bed? What is the direction of the dip of the particular bed? For that cases, we can take the help of reduce bearing system. Reduce bearing system. Suppose this bed is nearer to the south. So we can identify the direction of this bed. Suppose direction is south to southeast. South to southeast. Okay. Suppose this is south to southeast. Okay, this is south to southeast, and direction of this bed is also south to southeast. Okay, direction of this bed. Okay, this is north, this is south, this is east and west. This bed moves from south because this part. Think about that part. Think about that part. This is the angle. You put if you want to measure the amount of the dip, amount of the direction, you can identify the direction. You put a zero line in south. You put a zero line in south. Okay, this is the angle, and measure 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 50, 55. So angle is 55. You start measure from the 0, you put 0 degree from the south pole and you start measuring from the south. Okay, and this angle near about 55, and it starts from south. That's why I am putting S here, and it's ended in the direction of southeast. So the dip direction is of that particular bed south, 45 degrees southeast. Okay, for the exam purpose, you have to only mention the direction, not the amount of the direction. Okay, go to that point. Okay, here try to calculate the dip. Here try to calculate the direction of dip. Okay, this is south point, this is west. So start from that point and calculate in that way. Start from that point south. This is about 45 degree. Sorry, suppose 45 degree. Okay, it starts from south. So in left hand side I put S, and it's moving towards going towards the west, that is southwest. So the direction of that particular bed south to southwest. Okay, then move to that bed. Suppose that bed, then direction you start from south, then it's moving towards the east, that is south to southeast. If you want to measure the distance, start from 0, put 0 line here, start from that direction. It's just follow the principle of reduced bearing. Okay, though, so you have to go through this. It is about 30 degree. That way you also identify the direction of the dip. Okay, so from the geological map we can identify the thickness, true thickness, apparent thickness, direction, all these things. So for a geological map, from left hand side I am starting the succession of beds. Okay, suppose bed 1, bed 2, bed 3, so on. Then suppose line of unconformity, then bed, lots of bed. Second one is the amount of the dip. Amount of the dip in degree. Okay, you through the section line when you are plotting the geological map, you can easily identify, easily measure the amount of dip. Now come to the direct amount of the direction of the dip. The dip. Okay, You can easily identify the direction of dip. Now, thickness of the bed in feet. True thickness, first one is the true thickness. At true thickness, second one is the apparent thickness. Prepare a column, succession of the beds, amount of the dip, direction of the dip, thickness of the dip divided into the two segments, true apparent thickness and true thickness. Then apparent dip, amount of dip. Here we have segmented two things, apparent true dip and apparent dip. Okay, so for the geological map, first column is the succession of rock beds, okay, and then amount of dip, that is true dip and apparent dip. Then the direction of the dip, okay, then thickness of the dip, true thickness and apparent thickness. Okay, you have to prepare all these column for the interpretation of geological map. Here I would like to mention another thing is that from the geological map you can easily get thickness through the help of section line. Suppose this is a geological map. Okay, here you draw a lots of section lines. Suppose I am cutting, I am drawing parallelly the all straight line. This is a straight line. Suppose I am drawing another straight line. Suppose another straight line. Suppose the value of the straight line is a value of the straight line is 200. This is the value of 200 feet. Okay, this straight line, this is the value of straight line is 200 feet because here the contour cut the this is the contour value cut the straight line in the 200 feet. Okay, but this line, this contour line here, this straight line passes through the lower boundary of that particular bed as well as the upper boundary of that particular bed. Here this contour line, this straight line cutting the contour of 200 value of 200 feet. So I have identified the value of the straight line is 200 feet. But this straight line cut the lower boundary of that particular bed and as well as the upper boundary. This is the upper boundary. This is the lower boundary. Upper boundary of a particular bed. Here the value is contour value is, here the contour value is 300 feet. Here the contour value is 200 feet. Obviously, here the contour value is 300 feet and 200 feet. You can get the thickness of the bed from the geological map too. Okay, to draw a lots of geological straight line in a geological map and give the and put the value of the geological map when it cut the contour on the basis of it contour cutting. But same straight line, if the same straight line cut a particular bed in its lower boundary as well as upper boundary and differentiate in between the contour value, just observe the contour value and with the and get the variation, get the differences of that two contour value and you can derive the thickness of the bed. This is another way. From the geological map you can get also the thickness of the bed. Okay, and lastly at first class I want to say one thing. From the geological map we can get two things, rather we can get three things. First thing is that information about the landform. Okay, it's just like the outer surface of the earth phenomena, that is the landform. Second information, the internal situation, beds, succession of rock beds, all these things we are getting from geological map. First is outer surface. It may be undulating plateau, it may be the uniclinal structure, all these things. Just first thing is that the surface, the landform. Second was is the internal condition, alignment of rock bed, deep, etc., etc. third thing is that from a geological map, just think it in 3D. Just think it in 3D and put water. Something, suppose that this is a humid climatic condition, and if we pour water, water will move in that way. Water will move in that way. This highland act as a water divide. Okay. Then think it in 3D and lots of riverine system will develop. Okay. Third thing is this, the surface runoff. Suppose take this geological map. Okay. And take a blue pen and suppose these are the pattern. These are the curvature. These are the pattern. Just connect those points. Just connect those points which are following any pattern. Just like this pattern, maybe just like this pattern. Just identify the pattern. Okay, and connect those pattern. Connect those pattern. Suppose connecting those pattern and follow the value of the contour. Suppose here the value of contour is 600 feet. Here's the value of contour is 200 feet. If I pour water, water will move in that direction. That is the information about the surface runoff. So here, suppose those are the beds in geological map. Those are the contour. Those are the contour. This is 600 feet, 500 feet, 400 feet. So here a trough zone, here a axis zone on the contour or the base. You can identify a trough zone or contour zone. It may be in synclinal zone. Okay, just connect those points and observe the contour value. Just minutely observe the contour value. This is 600 feet. Suppose this is 400 feet. If you pour water, water will move this direction. So you can get the information about the surface runoff too. Suppose this is a very easiest and simple geological map. So observe the value. So observe the value. This is the extreme bending condition of the beds. And just connect the extreme bending condition of beds, and those are also the extreme synclinal condition of the beds and the contour. Just connecting the point which are extremely inclined. Just connecting this point. Okay, here I am connecting the extreme point, inclined point, and extreme synclinal point, and extreme anticlinal point, and extreme synclinal point. Just I have connecting and follow the contour value. Here the contour value is higher. If you pour water, water will moves to higher to lower value. Okay. Suppose from that geological map you can get also the information of surface runoff. Third thing is very important. Suppose if I think most of the students have plotted this map, and this map just looks like a this one. Landform is this one, and beds are looks like a just like that. Okay, and this is the section line. This is the section line. So along the section line you can get one river. Suppose think it in 3D, and if you pour water, water will come in that direction. Okay, so fold it and think it along the section line. So one river line come into the point. That if you think it in 3D, then you can get the water bodies information about the surface runoff. And ultimate discussion of geological map with the topography, internal condition of the earth, and the surface runoff. From that geological map, I think this is very simple geological map. Most of the student written have this copy. So go for that. And this is the extreme bending of the contour, and those are the extreme bending of the bed. So connecting those points and just put arrow after minute observation of the contour value. Okay, then you will get the river line, and this is the section line. Okay, so you have to think all these things in perspective to your section line. So after plotting all these things, just put the section line here and think it in 3D. Draw a rough map. Suppose this one is a geological map. Suppose this one is a geological map. Suppose this one is a geological map. Okay, you have prepared this geological map, suppose. Okay, and those are the beds. Those are the beds. Those are the beds. Maybe those are the beds. Okay, and think about the water line. Suppose if the river, it will act as a water divides, river comes that way, it will act as a water divides and that come way, and think in the 3D, then that kind of system will develop. Okay, and after plotting the geological map, prepared a 3D map to identify the hypothetical drainage condition and plot all the drainage line in geological map. So after doing all these things, you can easily identify the landscape evolution. You can get the information about landscape. You can get information about the internal condition of the earth and the superficial attributes. Overall, these three attributes overall provide the situation of the evolution or the geomorphic process about the earth's surface. Geomorphic process, evolutionary process, cyclic condition, all about the earth's surface. These three things, those are the beds. And after preparing a geological map, prepared a 3D map, just 3D map, and think, this is not to scale rough map, just think to the drainage condition and plot all these drainage line in geological maps, and you have to correlate 3 attributes to describe the landscape evolution. Thank you very much.